Okay, so I've never done a YouTube live before, but I thought that I was just gonna jump on here and I'm just gonna let it run for 5 minutes. And honestly, if nobody comes on, that's fine because there'll be a 5 minute video that you guys are watching now at a later time. But I literally thought that I'm just gonna talk about anything that comes to my mind for the first 5 minutes. Um, so I guess kind of the first thing to like ramble on about. It's been a long, long, long time since I posted a video on my YouTube channel. So, to be completely honest with you, life happens, and so I just don't have postings. I've got the footage, I just have not posted it yet, and you know, depending on what life throws at me next, I would like to be posting more stuff on here and on my website. And I just did my first like real TikTok today, so that was kind of crazy. And I had two other TikTok posts before that, but it was just like legit my parents' dogs, and they were cute. So, but yeah, so I'm doing like a new thing with TikTok, so we'll see how that goes. And then I honestly think right after this 5 minute video is done, I'm going to try to start my first podcast ever. So that'll be fun. One of the things that I've noticed though is like, I don't even know where my phone's at. Here's my phone. Is like, uh, I want to, okay, so we have like the roaming Colt, like, hey, that's me. That's this channel. That's my website. Um, but then for TikTok, I kind of thought, okay, so I like to, like I said, this is going to be just 5 minutes of just total rambling thoughts. So I'm all over the place, but what I have for TikTok right now, my username is not the roaming Colt. It's something a little bit different. Um, so I would give you a hint. It's not Colt, but it's something to do with it's the roaming poet. Okay. Because I've always liked writing poetry. I don't know if I'm good or not. But ever since like I was in high school, I've just liked to do that. And so that's what I'm doing on TikTok is like kind of my poetry stuff. And like I love to write, whether it's like on my website or poetry or really whatever. Um, and so I've had plans to turn my my writings into a type of like novel or book series, or maybe just like poetry books. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Um, I started that project years and years ago, lost the files, ended up getting it back. But honestly, like I just have not gotten to that yet. And so I'm hoping that like doing this like little mini series or whatever on TikTok, like I'm hoping that'll kind of like spark things for me to get a better direction of what I want to do with these writings. Um, but for the podcast anyway, I want to have, so I think it'd be cool to have like the roaming Colt and then the roaming poet, and then the podcast I want to be the roaming thoughts. But I I can't name it the roaming thoughts without the platform that I want to use for the podcast is called Anchor, and I have no idea because I've never made a podcast, but I want to use Anchor, and so I would use um, that. But when you like go to create your URL, like I can't do that. I can't have a URL that has the roaming Colt, the roaming thoughts podcast, roaming pot. Like there's nothing available, so I'm kind of unsure what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, so that's kind of what I would like to do going forward. Have like a whole bunch of different mediums in ways to like create content. So it's not just TikTok, it's not just the pot. Like I just want to do everything. So we're gonna try it all and see how it goes, and pretty much go from there. So like I said, I was gonna keep this to 5 minutes itself. So it looks like we are at 450. So I guess we'll see how this goes. And yeah, I will hopefully be posting sometime again in the nearer future, which we'll see. Adios.